Okay, so I brought me one of these little Harbor Freight welding plastic welders here, and it's a pretty nice tool. I never used it before. I did this section here, and it came with the wire mesh. And what I did was cut me some smaller strips down here, and I'm gonna cut this down to where I need it. Just a good old pair of scissors. They came from Walmart. But I'm just gonna I'm gonna just sit that on there like so. Now, I never watched any other videos on this, but my mind just told me to try it here, and from the instructions, I think this is kind of what it tells you to do. And if not, this is what I did. So, and it seemed to work out pretty good here. So all I'm doing is melting that into the plastic. Like so. Then they give you the little plastic strips. I'm gonna see if where I could find these at and buy some more. Go to Walmart somewhere, see if they sell them. But all I'm doing is just laying that on there. So what happened was a few months ago, some guy was running through my yard after he done committed a crime, and well, when he jumped the fence, this was out in the yard, and he stepped and cracked it, and it's off the 79, the one that I'm painting red, and it's the 79 Electra, not the Park Avenue that I'm doing. So he cracked it, and well, I gotta repair it. You can't find these wheel wells, they're kind of hard to come by. So I never did this before, but we'll see how this holds up. Can't be no worse than body work. So what I like to do is put a little lacquer thinner on there. And it'll clean It'll clean up in those cracks pretty good there. The lacquer thinner gets in there. Now what I was gonna do was try to grind some of this out and put like a V in there, and then just put the plastic, and I was just gonna put the, weld the plastic in, but when I got to looking at it, I said, well, this mesh, I shouldn't even have to with this mesh here, I shouldn't even have to worry about that, and it's going to strengthen it, I believe. So I'm gonna see if this is gonna work for me. It won't be original. I don't know. I might try to. I doubt if I do that. Sand on this and then spray some black dye over it, but I don't know if I'm gonna do all of that. So too many projects, not enough time. But it might sand out. I might try it. I might go over it. But I'm just hoping this hold up. Look at that. See where I did it right here? Even right here, it's holding. It's holding. So once I get this all welded up, yeah, I can tell this plastic weld is gonna hold. So yeah, it's gonna hold. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to find the very end of this where this is cracking. I couldn't tell if it in there or do it in there. But what I want to do is drill a hole just to make sure that that'll stop cracking at that point. Make sure that stopped cracking, and then I just want to weld that mesh into there. There we go. Yeah, first time, like I say, I'm using this iron, but man, this thing works pretty good. Everywhere else that I've did this so far, it's been holding up. It's been holding up. It haven't been cracking. And once I get this wheel well back on the car, it's not going to be flexing that much anyway. So I believe this this plastic welder is a pretty good deal. Okay, now this is why you watch my channel, so I can make mistakes and you can learn. You learn from my mistakes. Alright, so when I first started off here, my first time ever doing this, I started fixing this on the outside, and what I should have did was started this from the inside. So since then, I done found a few other techniques. Oh my God. Look at that. That baby didn't last that long. Harbor Freight junk. I didn't even get the whole wheel well done before it broke. Ah, boy, I wonder if they got some more expensive ones. Ah, yeah. Okay. So I've learned a few things here along the way. The little cheap Harbor Freight tool. The other one, I bent the tip. Pressing down on it too hard. I guess overheating it maybe. And it broke off and I couldn't get it out. This head screws into there. So when you're using this tool, pay attention to this getting weak, and I think every night that I get done using it, I'm gonna unscrew it after it cooled down and screw it back in just to make sure it's coming out. I'll order some more tips. And so what I learned about this is that you don't want to press down on this too hard. I wasn't paying attention and I pressed down on it a little bit too much. So something else I figured out on here is that I want to have my trusty air gun on standby to cool this down. All right. Now this tool is pretty hot, so you don't want to touch it. But before I was rushing, trying to get this to melt in and cool down, to melt in, and I was just pressing too hard instead of just letting the heat heat this screening up that I'm using here, and I was just moving, pressing on it too hard instead of letting the tool do the work. So you don't want to press down on this too hard to get it to melt that in. And then what I figured out is that I need to come in and cool this down. Just like when I'm welding. You weld so much, then you come in and you spray and you cool that area that you're welding down. Same thing with this plastic. Welding it into the getting this to melt into the plastic there. So I want to just take my time and let this I want to just, I'm not doing a lot of pressing. I'm just letting it sit on there and getting that to weld in. And then what I figured out too is that I can use the scissors or maybe a screwdriver, press that down in there because it keeps trying to pop back out. Press that down in there, then come back and cool that down. So now that that's cool, I can remove the tool that I was using to hold that in place. Then I can come in. I'm going to come in and I'm going to come on down to this end here and just get this to melt in. And like I said, I'm not pressing on it hard. I was pressing on it a little too hard. Just to got the tool. I had to go buy another one because the other one, the tip broke off in there. And the good thing is that I went to Harbor Freight and they had this baby on sale today for 13 bucks. I started to buy 2 of them, but really I don't have. And see how that screen is popping back out of there? So what I want to do, I just want to press it back down into that plastic. And cool it down. And that's how I messed the other one up actually, is by coming in, trying to press and keep that screen down. But you learn, it's why you watch channels like this. So we make mistakes, spend the money, and you learn, and we can teach you, not only my channel but other channels too. I don't know if other guys admit that they messed up, but hey, I'm human, so it's coming along pretty good there. See, it's not cracking or anything, so that's all good signs to me, Okay, what I did here is I sanded on this to spend a lot of time sanding on this and getting it smooth, but you know, I could put some more plastic in here and sand it back down. I could put some more plastic in here, sand it down. I'm gonna sand this down a little bit. You know, I can melt the wire down some there, and then refill it with plaster, which I might just do because I do want this to be a little thicker. But I just wanted to show you that if you wanted to, you could sand this down with the sander. You could sand this down with the sander using 100 grit, 80 grit, you know, probably would work too. But you can get this, you know, you can sand this out if you wanted to and get this looking really good if that's what you're going for. But I just want this to be nice and not break again once it's on the car. The inner fender well will hold this in place, and it'll be mounted, and it shouldn't crack again. It's nothing. If I'm pressing on this like this and it's not cracking, that plastic welder works really, really good. Okay, what I did here is I sanded on this Okay. So what I wanted to show you here, even though I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna. Okay, what I wanted to show you here, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time sanding on this and getting it smooth, but you know, I could put some more plastic in here and sand it back down. I could put some more plastic in here, sand it down. I'm gonna sand this down a little bit. You know, I can melt the wire down some there, and then refill it with plaster, which I might just do because I do want this to be a little thicker. But I just wanted to show you that if you wanted to, you could sand this down with the sander. You could sand this down with the sander using 100 grit, 80 grit, you know, probably would work too. But you can get this, you know, you can sand this out if you wanted to and get this looking really good if that's what you're going for. But I just want this to be nice and not break again. Once it's on the car, the inner fender well will hold this in place, and it'll be mounted, and it shouldn't crack again. It's nothing. If I'm pressing on this like this and it's not cracking, that plastic welder works really, really good. But if you wanted to, like I say, get this nicer, you can get it and then just, you know, spray some flat black on there and you'll be fine. But I do got a little bit more work to do to this. But I just wanted to show you what the final, well, not the final, because I'm not going to do this 100% because that's not what I'm going for with this. But I just want to show you how to use the plastic welder. My first time using it and just trying to see how good do that plastic welder work and will it hold up. So I think it will. It's coming along good. I got a little bit more work to do on it, but I'm very pleased. Very, very pleased. Okay, so this is that wheel well. I didn't sand it down, but most of the wiring cover where it was cracked at anyway, like down up in here. So most of the wiring covered that, so I mean that's showing right there, but hey, this was cracked. That mount where this mount was, that's nice and secure. So that plastic welding works pretty good. So I got this car almost ready to be shipped off. I'm wondering if I should try to put another master cylinder on this car myself and see if I can get I can't get the brakes to bleed on this one. I put all new lines on here. These wasn't bad, so I didn't do nothing with them. I put that on the other 79 that I got, even though I ended up having to order another brake kit for that. But overall, this car is ready to be shipped off for the brakes if I don't end up putting an intake on here myself. So, but that wheel well came out good where it was cracked and everything. So, like I say, most of that was hidden, so it was cracked more in the back by the firewall, but it's all good now. So that, and it's holding it's hold up. You ain't got to worry about it cracking again. Alrighty, and they hired the fine, so that plastic welding come in good.